Yeah.
So the main reason of why renting or rent vesting is better than buying is, I think of it like Monopoly. So I buy lots of those little green houses. Those green houses are Coogee, Bondi, $1 million apartments. People land on them. They're affordable, so the rents are fairly high. So the rents in Sydney at the moment 3 or 4%.
Mm-hmm.
If you then go and rent a $5 or $10 million home, how many people can afford it? Not many. And so what happens to the price? It goes down because there's not much demand. And then of the people that can afford that $5 or $10 million apartment, how many people want to rent? Not many, because they think poor people rent. It's a social thing, a social stigma. And so the price comes down even further. And so what I worked out at probably around my 30s or late 20s was whatever I could afford to buy, I could rent somewhere 3 times more expensive and still be better off. So I typically live in a $5 or $10 million home. My rent return that I pay is about 1%.
Yeah.
I'm then getting 3 or 4% in. My strata fees are a lot less because I'm in small buildings and I could be in very expensive towns and stuff like that. All of my debt is tax deductible, whereas none of it would be on a family home. And then the counter argument to this is, it's not capital gains free. But if I never sell my investments, I never pay capital gains tax. I get all the profit out of my properties by refinancing, so I can use that equity without selling. Mm-hmm. My mum, for instance, been in her home for the last 44 years. She's never had the benefit of capital gains, and she won't until she dies. I'd rather have the the tax deductibility for the next 40 years. And then people say, it's a hassle moving, you might get kicked out. We've been in the same place for 7 or 8 years. We used to move once a year before. And if you want it to work, it can work. So if we get kicked out, we go off on holiday. The removalists, they come in, they pack it, they move it, they unpack it. They're going to do it better than I can because they do it for a living.
Yep.
The cleaner comes in, they make the bed, put the teddies in there and all the rest of it. And every time we move to a better place, so it's always a positive feeling. So you get a free holiday, a better house. What's the downside? So it's mind over matter.